In this lesson, I want to talk about how to establish cams. We've got a couple of different cam types to get through, so let's get started. Let's open up the file from Chapter 7 folder called Cam Single Face Assembly. I'm going to delete all of the mates in this assembly just to show you how everything is done. I'm going to move all the parts around so they don't just fall into place automatically. And I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to show the sketch, because the sketch is a part of the assembly, and this will help me simulate the rest of the machine. I'm also going to show the part origins. Now I'm taking a look here, and there's something I want to change. I notice that the plate has its origin on a face, where the rest of the parts have the origin in the middle of the part. So I'm going to edit this feature. Just click on it and click Edit Feature. I'm going to get a warning from SOLIDWORKS that says the part is not fixed in space. And I'll change the Direction 1 end condition from blind to midplane. This puts the origin in the middle of the plate, and it will line it up with everything else. I need you to notice something here. Because I edited this part in the context of the assembly, I'm left in part edit mode, and the interface is telling me that down here by the editing part text, up here with this icon, and also up here with the same icon. So I'm just going to click the icon to turn off part editing mode, and now SOLIDWORKS tells me I'm editing the assembly. You have to be editing the assembly in order to add mates. Let's separate these parts a little more. Now I want to start mating the parts together. And the first mate I want to do is between the assembly origin and the part origin. If you cannot determine which origin is which, you might want to select the origin features from the Flyout Feature Manager. This is the assembly origin, and the part origin would be here. Now when this toolbar comes up, it has the Align Axes on. This is usually a helpful option because it helps you lock one part to the assembly. In this case, we don't want to align the axes, so I'm going to turn that off and then accept the result. What this does is it allows the part to swivel as if it's on a gimbal joint between the two origins. That's not really what we want either. We can fix that situation by selecting the big flat face on the cam and also selecting the front plane on the assembly. Now SOLIDWORKS is going to give us an error. This says that the default mate type would overdefine the assembly, and it would. I'm glad it brought that up, but we don't want the coincident mate. We want the parallel mate. When I switch to that, SOLIDWORKS is fine with it. We'll hit the green check, and now we'll check the motion of the part, and it moves just the way we want it to. Next, let's start getting the cam followers in place. They're all in kind of a different place in the assembly, so let's move them around. It might help if you change your point of view and then move the parts. I'm going to move them a couple of times. Now I'm going to start a mate, but I'm going to use the multiple mate mode. That's this paper clip with a lightning bolt. I'll just click on that. So with the multiple mate mode, I'm going to select the face that I want the rest of the parts to be coincident to. Select on this face, and the selection focus automatically goes to the component references. So I'll select this face, and then this face, and then this face. Don't select the green check or use the right mouse button in between the parts. Just pick all three faces. And then when you're done, you can click on the green check. Now I'm done with multiple mate mode. Let's now mate up each part origin to the sketch line. Click on the origin, click on the line, right-click to accept. Click on the origin, click on the line, right-click to accept. Now comes the magic. Let's collapse the standard mates and expand the mechanical mates. Click on the cam mate icon. Cams can be different from one another. Obviously, this cam has a single face that goes around the entire part. You may wind up with a cam that has many faces that are broken up. This one has a single face because it was created with a spline. If you have a cam that's created using multiple tangent arcs, all the faces are going to be broken up. That's why this entities to mate selection is larger and offers multiple selections. We're only going to select one face to go in there. Just keep in mind that you could have multiple faces. The cam follower, I will select the easy one first, and then right click to accept it, and let's see if it works. Yes, it works. Okay, that's success. So let's go back and click on cam. Click on the cam surface, and then let's click on the midpoint of this edge and right click to accept, and now that motion also works. Now let's do it one more time where we click on the cam face, click on the cam follower face, and then click the green check. SOLIDWORKS gives us a message that says one or more of the cam entities has a radius less than that of the follower. This might result in errors while dragging the components. So SOLIDWORKS is warning us that this might not work out the way we think it will. Let's use the green check to get out and spin the cam around to see what kind of motion we're going to get. And sure enough, with the flat follower, we're not getting the motion we expected at all. In fact, the part has gone far, far away. We can get it back momentarily by coming down, suppressing this mate, bring the part back down. We might be able to line it up a little bit better by using a parallel mate. So I'll select this edge and select this line and make sure they're parallel. And then let's go back and unsuppress the mate. And now we'll activate the mate again, and it's still acting a little funny, but that's just the nature of the way a flat face will follow a spline cam in the SOLIDWORKS cam mate. So this is kind of a recommendation, if you're not picking that up, that you don't use flat end followers. You could use something else. Even a sketch entity or the origin would work out well, depending on what kind of geometry you have. Let's move on to another cam assembly. Select the cam multiple face assembly. And this time, let's just do one cam follower. We'll get rid of these three mates. You'll notice that this cam is broken up into multiple faces, the way we mentioned that some cams can be. So let's create a cam mate. It's under the mechanical mates, cam. You could go around and select all the faces individually, but the better way to do this is to right click and say select tangency. That'll work as long as all of your faces on your cam are tangent, and really for good cam design they should be. The cam follower, in this case we're just going to use this one and right click, and let's test the motion, and that works out very well.